DirecTV and its parent company AT&T are being accused of political censorship after they dropped conservative TV station Newsmax from the platform. This comes after the network similarly dropped OAN, another conservative news outlet. According to Christopher Ruddy, president and CEO of Newsmax, this is both an act of censorship and of political discrimination. We speak with Christopher Ruddy about how members of Congress have openly encouraged the censorship of conservative TV stations, how claims about ratings and financial incentives don't line up, and about how the censorship establishment works. Hey, Chris Ruddy, thanks for being on Crossroads.
Great to be on with you, Josh. Thank you for having me.
Well, concerning times, Newsmax was just taken off the air by DirecTV, and this follows right after OAN, another conservative TV station, was taken off. Tell us what's going on as far as you see it.
Well, I don't know everything that's going on, but I can tell you the impact it's having on us is Newsmax was blacked out, was censored by AT&T and DirecTV. AT&T owns 70% of DirecTV. They owned 100% when they deplatformed One America last year, the OAN channel in April. This is the second conservative channel that AT&T DirecTV has deplatformed or removed in the past year alone. Very, very serious thing. As you recall, you may know that Nancy Pelosi and the House Democrats, two of her very closest congresspeople, wrote to AT&T and other cable channels asking that One America Newsmax and Fox News be removed because of so-called misinformation we were spreading. And apparently AT&T has complied. We're one of the highest rated cable news channels. We're number 4 in the nation. We're one of the top cable channels. We're in the top 20. We have a Nielsen rating that makes us the 16th highest rated daytime cable channel in America. And there's a couple of hundred of these cable channels they track. So it's a really big thing. And it's pretty clear to us they were trying to close us down. They were making us accept a deal that would essentially put Newsmax out of business.
Well, what was the deal they tried offering? Then I want to get into kind of what they're saying about it. What was the deal?
Yeah, well,
if you can talk about
just,
it.
Everybody in cable business gets a license fee. So when you pay your cable or satellite bill, they in turn pay CNN and Fox and ESPN and HBO. All these networks get a fee. And so Newsmax is a new channel, was seeking a cable fee. And last year, hundreds of cable systems signed up for us to get a fee because we have such high ratings. A very modest fee of about $1 per year per subscriber. So to give you some idea on this, CNN gets $14 per subscriber. It's a lot of money. There's 22 liberal news channels that DirecTV and AT&T carry. Every one of them gets a fee. Every one of them is a multiple of that dollar that we were asking for. And most of them have lower ratings than Newsmax does, so it's a pretty incredible thing. And what AT&T said to Newsmax was this: we were not eligible to get any fee. We were not even going to get 1 penny, which is pretty shocking. Like, why would we be targeted and discriminated that we're not eligible to get a fee, but everybody else in the industry does? So they knew that they essentially closed us down as a news channel because you need those fees to operate. And all our other cable agreements are linked together, so everybody gets in the industry the lowest rate. So if we go to 0 at DirecTV, all our other agreements go to 0. So they're pretty clever on how they did this, and we're fighting back. And anybody that looks at this, sees it as censorship. And President Trump and others have spoken out on it.
Well, so I was reading some of the, legacy news outlet coverage on this, and what they're saying is they're blaming it on low ratings. They're saying that it's because there's not enough people want to watch it. I read some comments from Media Matters, which of course targets mostly conservative organizations. It tries to get them deplatformed. They're saying it's just an audience issue, and they're claiming that's the reason. What's your response to all that?
Well, AT&T's putting that out to Congress. The only problem is many members of Congress and the Senate have been on Newsmax, and they know just how extraordinarily large our audience has been. It's a huge audience. Nielsen says we're reaching about 25 million Americans. What they do is, for some of these ratings, Newsmax is in 50 million cable homes, so Fox and CNN are in 75 million. So they're always going to have a bigger absolute number because they're just in so many more cable homes. So Nielsen has a thing called the coverage rating, which shows your viewership based on your proportionate distribution, how many homes you're in. And that shows we're in daytime cable for all of last year, the top 16 cable channel. That shows as a cable news channel, we're number 4 for the whole United States last year. So they can wheel and deal and slice and dice the numbers. But the truth is we're big and we reach a lot of people. And I think people are seeing that and they're getting huge amount of calls where, President Trump has urged people to call into DirecTV and AT&T to cancel not only DirecTV, but their AT&T cell phones and other services. We have a very easy number for people to call, which is 877 Newsmax, 877 Newsmax, and we'll connect you to DirecTV or AT&T.
Well, I was surprised to see some of the narratives coming out. Even The Hill has kind of taken this position. They tend to be a little, in my opinion, a little more in the middle, although they do lean left. And The Hill was basically saying as well that it was about ratings, not about politics.
I'm excited to answer your question because The Hill is owned by Nexstar TV, which owns the old WGN America, which is now News Nation. Newsmax has like double to triple the ratings of News Nation. Do you know what they get for a cable fee? Like $3 or $4 a year. They have a third of our rating, half of our rating in any day part, and they get a multiple of what we're asking. That's how shocking this is. So they have a conflict of interest. It's a good point. Anytime they do a story, we're going to ask them to include that, News Nation is their company and that they have a much lower rating. But the legacy media, The Hill's always been pretty establishment, and they're going to be critical of any conservative media. We've seen that on so many issues, and they're just, when we do see a story, they'll just recycle a lot of what DirecTV is putting out there in AT&T.